scrapping in my own private Idaho, and I am working on Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 16. And today I am working, I am behind. I'm going to show you day 5, and then I'll kind of walk through with you on day number 6. So my Cricut hasn't been working great, so I've been kind of looking into other ways to do titles, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So in this layout, she has kind of a featured picture here. She does have a title here, but my Cricut wasn't working, and so I looked to my paper and went ahead and grabbed and cut apart the paper. This paper is from Eat, Play, Love, and it was a close to my heart paper. This paper is Enjoy the Ride. It was bulk, and I just did a lot of cut aparts. I did a little bit of distress inking, and this is part of my 8x8 Turtly Awesome album, where I'm using the turtles to make a complete album for my grandson. And this one is kind of cooking themed, and we actually had 2 cooking themed, well, there was more than 2, I can think of 3 or 4, but the 2 that I'm using today were both from close to my heart, and they were cooking themed. So Gimme, this is Eat, Pray, Love. I still have some packs of paper, so if you are interested, but I loved how this was pattern paper, and I just used it as a title. And this was from a different, I think this is Echo Park, and it was from a sticker sheet, and I just put it on there. And so you can see I tried to stay close to, I'm not for sure, this is by Lisa Flanagan. Bangs and Glasses is her website, and I really like the layout. I'd like to use it again. You can see that I had to adjust it a little bit because this is 8x8 and hers was 12x12, and for me to get enough pictures on here, so this is actually the inspiration, and I get extra points. It's a little crooked, but I get extra points for using this. I figure it's 17 years old. It was one of those fun it was one of those fun little dimensionals that we used to color. So I got a warning label on there, so hopefully you can hear that. So that is day 5. Now on day 6, I also used another food themed layout. So this is Gimme Sugar, and I'll show you the inspiration. So I completed one side, and remember, when you're doing a sketch, I tend to be a 2-page scrapper. So this is my inspiration, and from the inspiration I didn't have, well, I decided not to, I wanted to make my pictures bigger, and I wanted to do 2 sets of them. So I only used 3 of the squares, and instead of 4. And so this is what I came up with. So I stretched the sketch. So this is from Retreat, and oops, let me, so you can actually see it. So you can see that I used 3 different pattern pieces. This is from a paper pack called Gimme Sugar. Oh my goodness, I'm so crooked today. And I did a lot of cut aparts. So originally, Close to My Heart did, their stickers were on something called stickies. And then then there was when PML cards were all the rage. And so this is cut aparts from Close to My Heart. And this is what, and you might dig through, you might have this. So this is what the cut aparts look like. And I cut apart this to make this. And this is going to be journaling. It's also going to be a tag. So I used it part of my journaling cluster here. I am super crooked today. And I'm using it as a tag from here. So let's go ahead and bring this in, and I'll show you what I did. So at our retreat, we all take turns cooking. That's how we keep it cheap, because And so each, I'm going to move this over a little bit. So each, they sign up for what they want to cook, and then, so I took different pictures of the different groups that we had. So how I started this space page was I put a little bit of, because it is white cardstock, I put a little bit of pink ballerina and I sponged it on there. I have, so one of the things that Close to My Heart used to have, and Stampin' Up! Starting to have a little bit more of them, is just these little teeny tiny, I call them blob stamps, but that's not what they really are. They just add a little bit of something, but it helps, I think it helps. So I also did, I've made this title before. This title is by Nancy Gaither, and of course it's with, I found it on Scrappy to do it. But I changed some things on that layout, and I'll show you what I changed. And I am including this file in there so that you can just pop it over, see the changes that I made, and you can make the same thing if you like. So on that Cricut file, what you will find is this and this. So what I did was these squares. The first one I did it wrong. So I made the squares, the juniper, that's the cardstock, is 6 inches. I cut 3 of those and then stacked them like the layout showed me. But on their layout they had the spoons and forks across, all the way across, and then they had bigger pictures, but I wanted more pictures and I wanted smaller ones. And I was using this for a challenge, so I went ahead and used that, and actually, yeah, it's kind of fading in there. I'm trying to decide if I need to swap that out. Because I didn't want it on the gray because I thought the gray would blend in, but I'm seeing my silverware is kind of fading in. And I'll show you, this is what I made with this. So I cut that out. I made it smaller so that it can go in the back, and then that is just a little bit of a feature. So let me go ahead and put this layout together for you, and you can see. So, and then this was just a replica. Okay, and I did a lot of fussy cutting, and now I'm looking and seeing, I don't know where my, okay, I need to put a few flowers, I think, up here because it's lonely. Maybe I'll put a flower. I think it does need a flower or something right here. I'll add that later because you don't want to see me hem and haw, because it can take me up to an hour to decide what I want to put someplace. Okay, so here is my layout. So I'm going to take this all off, and hopefully I'll remember what I did, and I can tell you. So to start off, you can see I did my sponging, and what I like to do is I like to lay everything down, I sponge what I want, and then I add it. So this was from a stamp set. I'll show you the stamp set that I used. It's called Fun, Friends, and Food, and I thought that was perfect, and I stamped it on this cut apart. Let's see. And it fit perfectly. So I'm going to hang it off because it is on, if you can see the sketch, let's go back to the sketch. See the sketch? They have a banner and I have this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a little bit of tape runner so I don't get quite so things move around on me. Okay, I'm going to hang this over and then I will hack it off. And I'm putting it around the parts that I have added all my fun sponging and blobs. A good blob stamp is worth it. So you can see that on hers, I wanted them to offset. So I wanted these, this one, and so my picture blocks are in the middle. They're kind of a half set in. And I love this because this is actually, this is 8 pictures. And the reason I made my squares bigger and didn't use 3 is because these pictures are 2.5. So, and that is just a size that I was able to trim down. They were a little bit bigger. I use my Epson 3850 when I'm at home. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and slide that over. So you can see all the delicious food that we did. We really did a great job. Of course, one was a potato bar because, hello, we're in Idaho. And then I'm going to have this. This one is with my, I'm putting my little silverware peeking up above, like so. And that adds a little, I had blank spots and I didn't know what to do with them. So that worked out really well. But I had my silverware on here. And it was a really cute layout. And like I said, if you would like to recreate this, I did make changes to it because to fit my purposes. Okay, so I'm going to mess around with that a little bit till I see where I want this to be. And also lining it up. So there's a little bit of moving around. Aren't you glad for repositionable tape? So I'm now 6 days behind on Kristen's Beautiful Life, but I would expect nothing less. I just cannot seem to, even though I start off, she's so nice, she gives us a little warning, but the month of June has been super busy. Lots of babysitting, which is so much fun. My little grand guy went to daycare for the first time, and he did great. So this one is actually sliding under. So I'm leaving a 1/2 inch all the way around. Can you see me? Can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to move my little X and see. Yes, you can see what I'm doing. So this is so it's just kind of stepped. It's a great way to show off paper if you want to see what's in this paper. So go through your stash. I know that a lot of you have it. And I'm trying to decide if I want this to be the Bon Appetit to be my title swap, because a lot of the ladies that do the title swap are at retreat. And then, okay. Maybe I could even ask them what colors they'd want. Okay. Here we go. That's going to go. Oh, no, I can't do it that way. I'm covering people up. Well, that was just a minute. So we had baked potatoes one day. We had one night we did by the fire and the mosquitoes. Oh my heavens. We could do a whole page. do a whole Cricut page of mosquitoes, and we could all take pictures of mosquito bites. Maybe we'll do that next year. Could find okay, so there is that. And now we're going to add the funness. So this is a little, so this is a journaling jot. I feel like, how did I have this? Now I can't remember what I did. Oh, hello, put the title down. So the title is large, and I will pop that up, but I'm just going to put it down slightly for good measure. I have my chef's hat. This is also on that Cricut Design Space file. And how the Design Space files work, if you have Cricut Access, you just push the button and it takes you there, and it doesn't charge you because they're all free cuts. If you don't have Cricut Access, they'll charge you for each one that isn't free or that you don't own. And I will say I get nothing for using Cricut. I just love it. So that's just a fun thing I do. I'm making that because I'm trying to create a triangle. I have one here, and then a few flowers over here. But I do need to put something. I just don't like that one, so I'm going to definitely have to, because I will spend forever. So I'm going to fix this. You'll see it. So when you come on, you will see the flowers at the edges. Then you'll know that's where I fixed it permanently, what I went to permanently. I really like how the orange just sticks out, so I'll probably do something with that. And then this is I can't remember how I had it. That's so funny. Maybe I didn't have this one. Actually, I swapped that one out with the silverware. And if you wanted, I've got kind of a blank spot there. I could move this over a little bit. Ooh, I think I can move it over a little bit. And then it's not such a blank spot over here. Put it there, and then put this here. All right, so I could put like a little bit of flowers here. I'll decide what I'm going to do. Should I add something right there? I think it could do with flowers. So I'll do a little bit more fussy cutting because it's so much fun. I'm going to fold this under so you can look and see what that tag looks like. And I stayed pretty close to the sketch. So in theory, I am doing a layout every day, but I'm feeling kind of slow. So this is the sketch, and you can see where I got the inspiration, kind of the stair-step papers and the banner. And then of course you can always, anytime you create anything, you can flip it and it undo a recreate. I'm going to move this down so that my layers are a little bit more. So when you come on, you'll see how I see how this needs to move down. I'll move this down a little bit because it should be even. Either this is going to come up or this is going to come down. I think this wants to come up because it will not touch that, and then that kind of fills up that space. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I hope you will like and subscribe. I hope you will follow along to Christy's Beautiful Life. It is 30 days of fabulous fun with lots of people and their ideas. So anyway, happy scrapping. Enjoy your summer hot days. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.